Have you ever noticed how some people seem to have an almost supernatural control over the environment around them without saying a word? They don't shout, they don't beg, they simply withdraw. And suddenly, everything changes. The energy shifts. People start to question, to chase, to feel. Now imagine if you did the same, if you stopped reacting immediately to everything. If you chose silence instead of the automatic response, retreat instead of explosion, what do you think would happen? Here's where the point lies. When you stop being always available, emotionally, physically, psychologically, the world around you goes into crisis because people are used to controlling you through your reactions, your impulses, your predictability. But the day you choose to withdraw, the game changes, and those who thought they knew you realize they know absolutely nothing about you. Carl Jung said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to a better understanding of ourselves." Think about this. When you become inaccessible, who truly gets desperate? Who gets irritated? Who tries to provoke you just to pull some emotion out of you? This reveals far more about them than about you, and it reveals how much you are still being manipulated without even realizing it. You have been taught to always be present, to respond quickly, to please, to say yes even when you wanted to say no. Since childhood, you were conditioned to believe that your worth lies in how available you are to others. But here is a truth perhaps no one has told you with this clarity. Excessive availability is not a virtue. It is a prison. Carl Jung spoke about the persona, the mask we wear to be accepted, loved, recognized. It is exactly this mask that keeps you overly available. You say it's okay when you are suffocating. You respond to messages even exhausted. You explain, justify, and defend yourself as if you owe the world something. But the more you place yourself at the center of everyone else's stage, the less you disappear from your own. Here is the cruelest point. The more available you are, the less value others assign to you. What is too abundant becomes taken for granted. No one respects what they don't have to earn. No one values what is always there. So who truly deserves your time, your presence, your listening, or better yet, your absence? Most of your emotional responses are not conscious choices. They are programmed. And those who understand this manipulate you easily. Opportunistic people don't need to raise their voices. They simply trigger the buttons you've left exposed, and you react, always. Jung called this projection, the mechanism through which people project onto others what they cannot face in themselves. The more emotionally available you are, the more you become a blank canvas for these projections. You know that friend who only calls when in crisis? That person who praises you only as long as you are useful? None of this is by chance. They are not relating to you. They are relating to the role you agree to play. And why do you agree? Because you fear disappointing, because you fear abandonment. But when you stop reacting, the game breaks. When you start saying no, responding with silence, withdrawing instead of explaining yourself, the projections begin to crumble. And this unsettles people because now they are forced to look at themselves. Not everyone is prepared for that. Your unavailability is a threat. It forces others to confront their own emptiness. The silence you offer reveals the internal noise they don't want to hear. The modern world is noisy. Everyone wants to be heard, to respond quickly, to win pointless debates. But there is a power few people master: conscious, strategic, brutally lucid silence. Not the silence of passivity or cowardice, but amplified presence. Jung saw silence not as a void, but as a fertile ground for inner transformation. When you stop reacting, you begin to observe. And by observing, you see patterns that previously went unnoticed: manipulation games, emotional repetitions, cycles of self-sabotage. Silence allows for lucidity, and lucidity is dangerous for those who live to control you. Have you noticed how some people panic when you don't respond? It's not because they miss you, it's because your silence takes away their narrative control. While you speak, you're still in the game. When you're silent, you change the rules entirely. True silence is not the absence of voice, it is the mastery over your own energy. It is the refusal to be dragged into someone else's emotions. And the most powerful silence is not the one that disturbs others, it is the one that reconstructs you from within. Conscious unavailability is not about being cold or indifferent. It is about no longer being accessible to anyone at any time for any reason. It's about taking control of your energy, your time, your peace. This starts with small actions: not responding immediately, breathing before reacting, walking away from a pointless argument, turning off your phone without guilt. And most importantly, you don't need to justify your absence. You don't owe anyone an explanation. Jung understood that every process of individuation, becoming who you truly are, requires a sacred isolation, a time of inner retreat where you relearn to listen to your own voice without the world's interference. Want a true measure of your evolution? Observe who distances themselves when you become more reserved. Observe who tries to provoke you when you stop reacting. These are not signs you are wrong, they are proof you have begun to free yourself. Because when you are no longer available for everything and everyone, you become something rare, someone worth pursuing. And that is not manipulation, that is sovereignty. Stop being controlled by the reactions of others. Withdraw, become a mystery, and watch everything change.